What's up, guys? Chris Marler here with the numbers to know for this Saturday's Arkansas-Alabama game in Fayetteville. Now, Alabama is currently a 17.5-point favorite, courtesy of our good friends at DraftKings. Let's look at some of the numbers to know going into this game. First off, Alabama has won 15 straight in this series. Nick Saban's actually never even lost to Arkansas since becoming the head coach at Alabama. A lot of people feel like this is the best chance the Hogs may have since maybe the 2010 season, where they had a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter and still fell short, but still one of the best opportunities to upset Alabama in recent memory. Now, if they're going to do that, they're going to need some help from a secondary that has been abysmal so far this season. They already have a couple of injuries, but they currently rank 126 in the country in pass defense. That's not what you want to hear when you already have the injuries, like I said. Plus, you're going up against an offense that is top 10 nationally in yards per play, yards per game, and touchdown passes thrown so far this season, not to mention a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that put up 559 yards passing on you a season ago. The news isn't all that bad, though, for the Hogs because they get Bama at home, and Bama at home versus on the road has been a night and day difference in the last season and a half. Here's a look at what Bama has done in this last 5 at home when they're winning these games by an average of over 3 scores per game. On the road, much different story. But if you look at those numbers, 4 of those 5 games, and these are the only 5 true road games that Bryce Young and Alabama have played in the last season and a half, 4 of those 5 games were decided by less than 3 points. That does not happen in the Nick Saban era, and that bodes well for an Arkansas team that is looking right to upset Alabama. We already mentioned the scoring margin changing from the road versus at home and what Alabama's been able to put up on offense, but they're also averaging almost 10 points less per game on the road versus at home at 32 points versus 42, and almost 100 yards less a game in total offense. Now, it's not just the offense struggling to put up points and put up numbers. And you look at the penalties. Alabama not only has over 40 more penalty yards per game on the road, they also have averaged over 10 penalties per game in those road games versus at home. There's not one place you could really put the finger on and point the blame because it's across the board. Even their star quarterback has struggled on the road versus at home. When you look at his numbers, averaging almost 75 yards less per game in passing, averaging almost 4 yards per attempt less through the air, which is why you haven't seen a lot of the explosive plays that you saw maybe a year ago, especially when Jamison Williams being gone and John Mechie. Alabama has really struggled to try to figure out how to have explosive plays. Now, you also look at the completion percentage. It's 11 points difference on the road versus at home, and they're also having to come from behind a lot in these games. Now, they've won a lot of these games, but that being said, Alabama is a 17-point favorite over the Hogs this Saturday. Before you bet the house on that, let me give you one more piece of advice, and that is this. Alabama is just 1-4 against the spread in those last 5 games on the road. I told you that 4 of those 5 were decided by 3 points or less. Those are the numbers you need to know for this Saturday's game against Bama, Arkansas. Enjoy, y'all.